everyone. I'm Allison, and welcome to my weekly Meltdowns coverage of the Challenge Double Agents season finale, part 1.
Part 1. Of course, there had to be a part to this, right?
Part 2. Well, part 1 was only an hour, but part 2's got to be an hour and a half. Hi.
I can't wait for part 3.
I can't wait for the reunion that they're probably going to spread out to 3 more weeks.
Didn't they do that one season? Like they had like a 3-part reunion or something, and they didn't announce who the winner was until the 3rd part of the reunion.
Fucking yes.
Yes.
All 3 of us are
do
like
that. I'm never watching the show again.
No, listen, I'm done with the vomiting. Okay,
Why? Why not just make it one episode? Make it 1 2-hour episode, because what they did tonight was have essentially a 15-minute montage of vomiting.
Oh, it's 15 minutes of vomiting, and then we got to watch them run in slow motion for 3 miles.
I do have to say that I can't even imagine eating something I really like after running, let alone eating that shit. All I want is water, and the fact that you'd have a pint of blood.
What kind of
also
blood?
That did not look like blood.
I don't know. Hey
that
guys,
was too creamy and chunky to be blood.
No spoilers in the chat. Who's giving spoilers? No spoilers in the chat. Henning, if you see any spoilers, can you try to delete it if you can? No big deal. But hey to everyone in the chat, Matt Henning, Channel F. I'm saying it right.
Chanel.
And I'm not saying it right. Chanel. God dang it.
Channel. Chanel, we just want you to know we hear you. For the first few months, she thought my name was Beth. It was crazy.
I thought your name was Beheath.
And I'm Taylor instead of Tyler.
Yeah. Right. But hello, Sam Higgin, our junior in high school, Chanel F, Adrian Celeste, everybody in the chat. I'm trying to make sure.
JL, Ethan Nolan,
JJ12792, Rel Walker, Lisa Munez, Jules Lewis.
Liza Munez.
Who did I say?
You said Lisa, but it's Liza.
Look, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want to read the names anymore. Y'all got to stop.
You know what?
This is more entertaining than the challenge.
Can we hire Allison to do the readings of names at commencement ceremonies, like at graduation?
Because I'm gonna be sitting there going, "Did you really name your child this?" Okay.
My favorite thing of all time was when I was in high school. My high school had 100 kids per graduating class, so everybody knew everybody, kind of thing, right? And the assistant principal, for whatever reason, they made her be in charge of reading these names, and bless her, I think she just got a lot of like anxiety for doing it. And there would be these kids that were like really well known, and so she kept calling my friend Alan Moses, yes, Steve Moses's older brother, kept calling him Alexis Moses instead of Alan.
How do you go from Alan to Alexis?
So many awards at the ceremony too, and she was like, Alexis Moses. And of course, we ragged on him for that for a long time. But.
You know what? I'm going to suggest everybody right now, because I get this a lot because I'm horrible with names. Go look on YouTube, Key and Peele. What is it? The teacher. The substitute teacher reading roll call.
Oh God.
Timothy, Balake, and that's, obviously Timothy and Blake. And then one of y'all says another silly ass name.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Gosh, I don't even know where to start with this episode, because it was really just them running 3 miles and us running with.
Was that a baby? Is Tina already born?
No, my cat, Lily. What? She doesn't even want to hear about this. She's 18 years old. She's geriatric. She's over the challenge.
She's
like, put me out of my misery.
She was a kitten when the season began, and she's 18 years old.
She just came out and off the teat when this show started. and she's an 18-year-old geriatric half-deaf cat. What?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Yahweh makes up a really good. This was a queen from the UK season 2. Can you say this name?
Okay, it's Bimini Bon Boulash.
Yes. Okay, now say it quickly. I want to hear it.
Bimini Bon Boulash.
Yeah. Everyone, round of applause. Everybody, congratulate Allison in the chat for Bimini Bon Boulash. Yeah,
Very impressive. I thought it was like bimini, like bikini, but like with an M instead. So Allison did a lot better than I did.
Boulash. No, she was awesome. We love Bimini. I love that, Yahweh. Thanks for the challenge.
Yes. But so Henning brings up a good point here. This episode should have just been called Karma.
100%.
I feel like the theme of this episode is Bessie is a giant pussy.
Oh, can we just talk about how you can't eat some testicles? Everybody's got to eat something and put something in their mouth in the challenge that they don't want to.
He thinks they're going to get disqualified anyway, so why eat it?
Dude, let me tell you something about Casey. I have a little bit newfound respect for her because she's still eating. She's eating everything. She's drinking the blood. She's doing it all. And she's got that knee wrapped up. And I kind of felt bad for her.
I did too.
It's just pussing out.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised he's the big old pussy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying it since he was on
he's a moron and an egotistical asshole. Like we've been knew that. So I was so happy to see everybody just kind of shit on him because he deserves that. I wish TJ was saying more shit.
Yeah, he should have.
I've been hearing all this time. I know that we had that one episode where TJ went off on the boys, but like I've been hearing, TJ's not afraid to say shit. I want TJ to step in and say something here.
I feel he will say something.
Good.
And he says something to somebody on the Challenge All-Stars later on in the season. I can't wait to see who that is. Bye-bye.
I know
Hope
who
to
it
see
is.
you.
I'm very excited.
Oh, God, tell me. I want to know.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I totally agree with you, Allison, that like I have a newfound respect for Casey. We've been saying all season long that like the competitive like sport aspect of this is like Casey's like ball game for this type of show. So I understand like why she wants to like finish out as strongly as she can. And I just hate that like I guarantee you guys like we're gonna go on Twitter after the show is over, right? And he's gonna be like, listen, like I knew we didn't have a chance, so like I wasn't gonna like fight or push or like do anything that like I didn't need to if we weren't gonna win anyway. So then why weren't you trying to convince Casey to quit? Is my big thing. Like, why did you make her like go up that hill? Right. Yeah, exactly. My boyfriend's a podiatrist. He was watching this with me. He was like, they should have pulled her from the challenge. Like the fact that like she chose to like just wrap her leg up and keep going, and you could see her leg like giving out and stuff like that. That's I mean, Beth, you missed a finger being broken.
No, I saw it in the recap, and for the split second, and that's all I really needed to see. But I have a feeling that the challenge decided to make it a 17-minute segment.
Yeah, but it was. Listen, and Matt's right. Casey wanted to compete. Fessie's just like, no money for me. Not. That's true. If they had said the winner splits $800,000, second place gets $100,000, and then last place splits what's left because I can't do math. Then he probably would have been shoveling it in his mouth. Can
I ask a question? This is just a clarification. So the money that they're talking about with splitting the 900,000, all that kind of stuff, that's not the $1 million things that they've been talking about, right? Like one person wins that, but this is just for who wins the checkpoints.
No, okay, listen, whoever wins at the end. Okay, first of all, it's a little misleading if you think about it, because you're thinking I'm going to be splitting $1 million. No, it's $1 million at the end of the game total that is split between the finalists and the winners. So you're sitting here thinking, oh, I'm going to be, splitting $1 million with my partner. No, you're going to be splitting 900,000, which is fine with me.
So it's two winners then.
Yeah, it's two winners.
So a male and a female.
This is so stupid. I'm sorry. Why are they saying I got to win this $1 million? No, you are not winning $1 million.
It's a better soundbite.
No, fuck really. That. It's misleading. I am new to the challenge. I've been watching this show for 18 fucking months. This is the first time I hear them break down the prize money the way it's supposed to be. And I'm like, wow, is this additional money? What kind of fucking stupid piece of shit is that?
The challenge. It happens. But if you listen to the words that he said, Chanel says, sometimes. That's true. Chanel says, they say you're competing for $1 million, not one person.
Maybe TJ says that, but how many confessionals have we had where Fessy or somebody goes, I need that $1 million for my family?
I feel like this is like a misleading infomercial. Like they should have like an asterisk down at the bottom with like all the terms and conditions of like what they're saying wrong.
It's kind of like in an infomercial for balding guys that if you spray paint this shit on the back of your head, it's going to look like you have hair, but don't sweat, don't get wet, don't breathe, don't blink, or it's going to look like sod. It's your sod's going to come loose.
God. Right, and don't compete in a hurricane.
And don't compete in a hurricane.
Also, that is the nicest looking hurricane I've ever seen in my life. It just looked like wind.
Yeah.
Which I know it's scary. I'm not putting out there like it's bad, but I'm used to like,
Okay, hold on, y'all.
Are you okay?
My cat. Acting like a lettuce. What are you doing?
We have totally gone off the rails here on my weekly meltdown covering this season of the challenge.
What?
We can, for those listening to a podcast, if you check out the video version, Allison is currently wrangling off camera an 18-year-old geriatric cat that is just as old as this season of the challenge has gone on for.
Come on.
So
lovely.
Are we okay?
Is everything okay?
Okay. Yes, she's fine. Actually, Lily, everyone was outside the door meowing. That's how loud she is.
Hi, Lily.
She wanted in. She's like, I'm toughing it out too, Mama.
What she was trying to say was, I know, Beth, it's really frustrating that they don't talk about how they break down the prize money until the finale episode after multiple months where you feel like you've been duped.
Well, if I had $1 million at the end of this show, guess who's getting stuffed when they die? Right here. Gonna get stuffed.
Wait, would you really do that?
Probably.
Yeah.
But no.
I don't know. Taxidermy is like a weird.
Never get this cat. You're getting cremated. Okay.
Yeah, that's. I think that's the move. Yeah. So, like, speaking of the hurricane, to bring it off taxidermy and back onto the challenge, we're a mess.
We've hit new levels.
We have. But no, I will say one thing I do like is like I like the change of pace of the scenery from like the usual challenge and in like tropical beachy locations. I really like this like Iceland like vibe of like, I don't know, just like all
it
this,
adds like a level of toughness to it because like I'm looking at this terrain and like running on rocks is hard.
Yeah, especially when it's that cold too. Like your joints are like super tight and stuff like that in the cold. So imagine running 3 miles and then at the end of that you have to like eat like ram testicles and a sheep's heart and everything like that. And that's only the first wave, you know.
I would have tumbled down the side of that hill. I mean, I would have just fucking peered. Like, where did Allison go? She's just gone. And my partner's just gonna keep going, even though they're disqualified at this point.
My favorite would be when they zoom out and they have like the little arrows with the names, and yours is just like, as you're falling down. It's just like Allison.
The arrow pointy thing is like moving.
Listen, I'm Jessica on the wall in Big Brother.
Yeah.
Fuck Casey's leg. I'm hanging. I'm hanging off the cliff.
So is it safe to say that like Casey and Fessy are like done for
100%?
I think so because
it's just 100%.
They basically gave it away. They're like next week on the challenge, and the first thing they see is like people running. They're like, "Come on, Nani!" And I'm like, "Well, okay. Well, if Nani and Corey made it, then there's no way that." Or look, I mean, Nani and Leroy. I mean, there's no way that Corey and Cam didn't.
Let me ask you a
So-
question. Do you think they should give the dessert to Fessy and Casey?
I
No,
would
because
say
they're not going to eat it anyway. So you might as well give it to Cam and
Casey,
to
Casey will eat it.
Casey might, but
Yeah.
by the time she finishes it, the other two teams are going to be done. So you might as well give it to a team that you want to.
I'd give it to Corey and Cam.
if I were CT, I would say, TJ, am I allowed to give this just to Fessy, not to Casey?
Oh,
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, TJ would be like, "Yeah, let's do it." He's team good TV, especially like this season.
Yes.
Like really needs good TV. So
This is what's going to happen, Beth, is TJ's going to go to Fessy and go, what happened, man? I mean, she's hobbling down with one leg and you can't eat some balls?
yeah,
I mean, what's going on here? I don't like quitters. You just stood there, man. You know, what are you doing here? Like, he will call him out.
yeah,
Good, I hope
and
so.
I mean, like, so I
I
feel
hope
like
he makes them cry.
I feel like all season long, Fessy's been like, I want to be the new CT. I want to be the new like face of the challenge. And to me, like this is prime example of how you are not a CT level of god tier in the challenge. Like a lot of the females have really pumped you up this season to be by picking you as a partner over other people. But I mean, the proof's in the pudding here. You know, like he's just a giant wuss, and I'm glad that the edit really just like buried him. And I love that like they showed Nani in confessionals being like, you could see on Fessy's face when Casey was like down on the ground, all he was thinking about was the money and his opportunity of winning, like slipping out of his fingers.
He's
and I totally agree.
narcissistic.
I agree, but here's the other thing. I also understand being disappointed and upset and all that stuff. So I'm not going to fault him for that, but I will fault him for not being a supportive teammate. I will fault him for pushing his teammate way too hard to the point where she couldn't run properly, which is why she injured herself. Like those are the things I'll fault him for. Him being upset, I got so close and I chose the partner I wanted, and then she gets injured to the point where we're likely going to be eliminated. I can understand that being, I understand that.
Well, you know, CT said it best. This is a marathon, not a sprint. He's like, these people will gas out eventually, and they do. There are people that have been medically evacuated and all kinds of stuff, and they were in the lead. I mean, people, Big Zach has, Big Easy, all these big guys.
Polly, didn't Polly gas out?
Don't bring up that. I hate him. Okay, like I don't know. He's just done. I hope he never comes back on another one of these shows. Have you seen his hair lately?
Yes.
It's making me crazy. I can't. But yes, I'm pretty sure he did. Don't ADD me. See, now I can't concentrate. See what happens? I think Tyler does this on purpose. I think he says something to knock me off course.
I wish I was that smart, Allison. You're giving me way too much credit, but that's not the case. Ooh, did you just get like a...
I got a show for a second.
Oh, I need a ghost update from you, Beth, because I saw on your other podcast the freaking frame behind you. Like,
okay, hold on. It's
what?
This, by the way, it's this painting that I painted, by the way.
What happened?
That fell.
Ooh.
And it was next to this light on the table, leaning up against the wall, just like leaning up against it. And Dylan and I were discussing in this episode of The Nanny, they talk about the evil eye. And they're like, ooh, don't get on the bad side of the evil eye. And like, Grandma Yetta has the evil eye. And basically meaning that like, if she looks at you wrong, something bad will happen. And we literally finished talking about Yetta, and instantly out of nowhere, nothing happened. It just fell down.
But it didn't just fall down, right? Like, so the, you know,
it was
when
loud.
Usually when something falls over, it's like from the top, it just like falls over. This like got swept from the from the bottom and then down. It was very paranormal.
It looked like someone just knocked it off. It was really, really creepy. And I didn't see what fell or anything like that, because obviously I'm looking here. And I just heard it and I looked around and I couldn't figure out what fell. Yeah. And Dylan was like, I saw it. And so it was a whole creepy moment. But anyway, I have not felt anything yet, but I did just have a cold chill. So who knows? Maybe something just passed.
I believe in spirits, and I'm going to tell you
agree.
something. Right now on Discovery Plus, I'm watching the Stop it, about shock docs It's called Shock Docs, and it's about the real psycho. The movie Psycho that it was based on. It's called The Real Psycho, Edward Gines. His last name is spelled Geins. I'm probably saying it's Gines or Gins. I don't know, but like they have they have mediums that have gone out to where his house was, but it was torn down, and like it's freaking me out. But like I'm very sensitive when it comes to spirits.
Like sensitive in the sense that you can sense them, or sensitive to like this like puts me on edge.
I'm like I can feel things.
Yeah.
I've been on a couple of ghost hunting excursions. Okay. I know that's hard to believe. Maybe I'll tell that story someday.
Have I told you guys the story about my sister's imaginary friend, Ebba?
No. Is this going to freak me out?
I think you did, but tell it again, because if it is, I think this was really freaking crazy.
So we grew up next to a graveyard, and we would have to like walk through this graveyard to get home from school every day. Like the bus would drop us off like at the top of the graveyard, basically, and we'd have to walk through it. But so my sister growing up like had like 3 imaginary friends: Rod, Jane, and Ebba. And they would like go with us everywhere, but like Ebba in particular, we would have to like buckle her in her seat, save her like a seat at like a table, which was obnoxious for the servers. I bet now that I'm I'm grown and I know all that shit. But like Ebba was like really there with Morgan like all the time. And so like when we were walking by one day past the graveyard after school, we were looking at like the names of some of the gravestones. And one of the really old gravestones, you could like barely like make it out, but the name of the gravestone said Ebba, and it was like I think she was only like 4 or 5 years old when she died.
Did your sister ever see it?
See the gravestone?
Yeah.
We were like too far apart in like years, so we weren't like on the same bus or anything. But I told her about it, and I don't know. I feel like Ebba is not a common name to like make up for an imaginary friend at all. So like,
but also, how old was your sister at the time?
Oh, she was maybe just like 8 or 9 years old.
Okay, so she probably could read then. Because I was thinking if she was like 5 and probably couldn't read yet, that's a whole other situation.
Yeah.
Listen, I believe in ghosts, and all kinds of stuff, because I mean, the challenge was 50 episodes long, and I feel like the people we're talking about now is a go.
I feel like we're in purgatory, so I think that's
purgatory.
Why
this has been like
we're waiting for
4-month
something to happen. Which way are we going to go here?
This has been a 4-month fever dream.
It's so exciting. It was so exciting. Oh my God, y'all! I was like, it's only an hour tonight, and we were like, yes.
We've never been more hyped in our group chat.
I know, we were like, fuck yeah. And then we find out next week's an hour and a half. Oh my God.
But it's the end, right?
No, it's not the end, Beth. Well, it's the end of the show that we're covering. I'm not covering the reunion. Yeah. I don't have time.
Well, what is there to talk about in the reunion? Like, genuine question.
It's going to be people getting up and leaving over and over again.
I can tell you,
I'm not doing this anymore. And they get up and they leave the freaking Zoom call.
Yeah,
it's going to be them piling up on Fessy. It's going to be them checking in with the people who probably got eliminated because of injuries. It's going to be then what?
Lolo, like a big.
There's going to be a whole part about Lolo and how crazy she is. There's going to be a part where they talk about the Big Brother Alliance and Devin. Like it's just it's Big what T, else are we going to see?
Big T and CT.
When did Lolo get
Ashley coming back, immediately leaving?
Maybe Natalie Anderson talking about her miscarriage.
Do you think that they'll push that?
I don't know.
I hope not.
I really hope they don't, unless she really wants to talk about it.
I think she does, because like so after she left,
we both went for it at the same time twice.
I was like, is there
why is it disappearing?
Because you and I were both pressing at the same time. Because Caitlin Beaver has a really great comment, which is reunion recap: Josh yelling and crying. I mean, that's it.
I love that whenever I talk, it's like time for like you two to like read the chat. Everybody checks out. I
understand the script. When a man talks, we tune out.
I totally encourage that behavior. I approve.
Please continue. You have my full attention.
No, I was just
I can't promise that.
I was just saying that the Natalie Anderson, like after she left, she posted an article by people magazine where like they opened up about like the real reason that she left and everything. So I feel like if she's willing to do like an interview for People, she might be willing to talk about it on MTV.
I really don't need Natalie talking about her miscarriage in my life, and no offense to her or anything. I just really feel like that is not, I mean, listen, maybe some people need to hear her story to feel better about something that's happened to them, but this is the challenge, and I really don't feel like, I think if on this show, it's just not, I don't think it's an appropriate place for her to talk about it.
I tend to agree with you. I think that her story, should she want to share it even further, there are definitely places for it to be shared. And I think that's an important story to share. There's a lot of women and a lot of families and parents and such who have gone through very similar experiences. And we're not trying to poo-poo that, but I do think like, if you're talking about the challenge and everything that happened, like, I don't know.
Right. I mean, like, I guess you're right. Like, it's not an appropriate place to talk about that when, like, right next to you is Josh Martinez going, da, 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 da.
Yeah, and Devin Walker on the other side going, Big Brother sucks.
Yeah, which I agree with.
It just doesn't fit.
Raise your hand if you've been personally offended by Devin Walker, and it's just all the Big Brother people. Except
raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by Big Brother in casting in the past 5 years. Yeah. Everybody hand waves in the chat for that. God. I mean, what else is there to really
Rory says reunion recap. Ambler gets no airtime, but is there.
Yeah.
Ambler. I totally forgot about Ambler. Or is it Ambler? It's Ambler.
Ambler, yeah.
Like, I totally forgot about Ambler because there was 88 people in the original cast 7 months ago.
You remember when Ambler was something that we joked about in January?
Girl, that was fucking December.
We've done 2 brand steals with Amblers.
We've done, this show has been going on since December.
Mm-hmm. Should we talk about the things that we've gone through since this show began?
Yeah, let's do a montage of what has happened in the world. I have gotten a puppy. Let's see. Americans tried to overthrow democracy.
I was about to say the Capitol got attacked.
Loved that day. That was really fun. Taylor Swift won her 3rd Grammy for Album of the Year. Beth started a new podcast, which is thoroughly enjoyable. Allison is going to be a grandmother.
Yes.
Wait, time out. When this show started, your grandchild wasn't even conceived yet.
Oh shit!
Well, we went through this a few weeks ago. My grandchild was still swimming around in my son's nuts. If you want to be blunt about it.
There you go.
I mean, it wasn't even a glint. Beth had 40-inch roots.
Can we talk about that? I looked at a photo of and I was like, how did anybody look at me for like months? That hair was awful, y'all. I'm so sorry.
Beth, you can rock any hairstyle.
You looked fine. You looked fine.
It was bad. No. There's been a lot, and I do have one piece of personal news that's really important and really exciting for me, but I can't share it officially yet, but just be on the lookout because it'll be coming very, very soon. But something really big has happened for me too. So,
and I'm
that's a teaser.
Excited about it.
Yeah. It's a teaser, but it's a really good one. And hopefully by the time, I mean, definitely within a week, I would assume I can share.
Question for you guys. Do you guys watch The Circle?
I've
never
watched
seen it.
Circle. I watched the first season of the US. I haven't watched the UK, and apparently the UK is like infinitely better than the US one. So
oh, really? I heard that the US is like very faithful to what the UK version is like.
Yeah, no, it's not that it wasn't faithful. It's just that the UK people, I guess, were just even better. I actually auditioned for this second season of The Circle last March because I was like, wow, a show where anybody of any body type and any race and ethnicity and like anything like sexuality, gender, whatever can go on, and you can either present yourself as you or catfish people.
I love
Like,
that. That's what
heck
I was
yeah.
going to say. This is just like another version of catfish, but it's acceptable and
Right.
it's okay and it's welcomed.
Actually, that's really interesting. I think it would be a cool casting choice to have somebody on the asexual spectrum be on the circle, because people like usually like tend to like flirt in their messaging in like in a way to like get allies and stuff like that. So
Yep.
that should be your angle for casting, I think.
Definitely. I think I don't know if I'll apply again or not. It was especially with upcoming news. But it's something that I think it's an interesting show. So
Yeah. I'll probably watch it maybe in like a week or two. There's this new HBO show that I'm trying to get into and make
what
time
is it
for.
called? The Nanny?
It was in 2019. It's no, because apparently The Nanny on HBO is like super out of order.
Not anymore. They fixed it.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I like to think that Dylan and I are the reason why they fixed it, because we made such a big stink of it.
Definitely.
What show are you watching on HBO?
It's called Years and Years. It's only one season. It was like 6 episodes, but it's basically what would have happened if Donald Trump got reelected, and just how it like rottens like everybody's minds. And there's this like Emma Thompson plays this like this woman who makes like a new party in the UK. She's basically like an old white woman, like female version of Trump, and she's like so horrendous, and like people fall in love with like her year after year. She tells it like it is, like that type of, and just how it like
It's just called the UKIP. That's just called UKIP in the UK.
it's
That's the party.
But it's, I only saw the first episode so far, but it's like HBO does really good with like these like existential questions in their shows.
You know what? You know what I watched?
What?
There's no telling what I've watched. I had heard about this show, but I never watched it until Chris was out of town. The HBO documentary series, The Jinx.
The Jinx.
You need to watch it, Jay.
What's it about?
Okay, it's about this guy who murdered his ex-wife and a couple of other people, and he got away with it. And he gets caught years later, and it's the way he gets caught. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm currently, for some reason, decided to start rewatching Teen Mom, the original season. I just finished watching season 1, which was only 6 episodes. And I don't know why, but I just felt I just wanted to start watching it over.
My I was in an a cappella choir in college, shocker. One of the people in it, she is so obnoxious we don't speak anymore, but one of her friends was Chelsea on Teen Mom 2, and she would like name drop that all the time, like, I'm going back to Minnesota, and I'm gonna have lunch with Chelsea from Teen Mom 2, and I'm like, oh, you're just the coolest person ever for that. Like, good for you.
Chelsea actually retired from Teen Mom 2 this past season.
I thought you were gonna say she retired from being a mom.
No, she's actually one of the ones that I really like, because she got married. Not to her first daughter's father. He turned out being just a douchebag, but she ended up meeting a guy and having 3 more children with him.
Okay.
And her daughter Aubrey is like 12 now, and she just made the decision to stop doing the show because her daughter is at that age where she didn't feel like all their conversations needed to be like, she didn't want her daughter going through puberty and doing all of this stuff on television.
On air. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, she wanted her to have some kind of privacy because there's been cameras in her face all her life. And I really respect her for that. I'm going to miss her because they've added this other mom to Teen Mom 2 that I just don't like. Listen, can I say something? There doesn't need to be 5 fucking moms on Teen Mom, OG, Teen Mom 2. We don't need 5. We just need 4. That's it.
Yeah.
I think we should not be filming this in general, but that's just me.
It was okay.
Not because I think it glorifies it or anything. That's not what the same reason that Chelsea decided not to have her daughter on there. I don't think it's healthy. In the same way, I don't think it's healthy that the Kardashians, for example, have had their kids all on television the entire time. Like, that is
did not sign up for the show.
Yeah, there's a level of like just think
morals
about
and-
how much like their worldview is going to be skewed because, and like how can only assume that they're going to have trust issues. Like, I think that there's just a lot of things there that developmentally will like infringe on a person's development.
In the beginning, when the show started in 2009, as 16 and Pregnant, it really was a good show. It was, I think originally it was just 6 episodes, and it really did show struggles. I could really identify with a lot of the struggles because I was a teen. Look, 19 is still a teen. And I had to live with my parents with a baby. I tried to work it out with his father until he was 2 years old, and it just didn't work out. And it was an uphill battle, and I could relate. So I started watching Teen Mom, and I could still relate. Well, here we are 12 years later. These bitches are making millions of dollars off this show now. They are no longer struggling.
It's no longer reality.
It's not reality anymore.
Yeah, that's the point,
when because I had a teenager, when my husband and I weren't together for a while, and I was on my own with him, I was paying all the bills, doing everything on my own, no help from anybody financially. It's hard. You struggle. You go without. Sometimes you go without eating.
Yeah.
You literally go without. And I'm watching the show going, they may have known what that was like back in the day, but they really don't know what it's like now to really struggle. So there are times I'm watching this show and I'm like, why do I still watch this? Because I freaking hate Mackenzie on Teen Mom. Okay.
Mackenzie's just an obnoxious name. Like
she's obnoxious. I don't like her. I don't want her on Teen Mom. Oh, gee, she's from Teen Mom 3, that show that didn't make it. I don't want her on the show. And I don't want Ashley on Teen Mom 2. I don't like Ashley. I don't like her story. I don't care. I want Janelle and Farrah back. Okay, I want those 2 dumpster fires back on my TV screen. Yeah. Okay, that's all I want.
Yes, Janelles are always welcomed here. Let's see.
I'm sorry. Anyway, what did you say?
Ethan Nolan pointed out that Tyler's name has changed to Alexis Moses.
I changed it in the beginning. I wanted to see how long it would be before you guys
I don't notice anything. You want me to notice that?
Well, one thing to bring it all back to the challenge, which is 7 conversations ago. The one thing we really should discuss. Yes. Oh, and I'm thinking pheromone, not Farrah, the other girl, Abraham or whatever her name is.
Farrah is now the adult industry, but that's okay. Go ahead, continue.
No, what I was going to say that we really should be talking about CT and Amber B being just a bomb ass duo. And like I mean, I love Cam and I don't mind Corey. So if they ended up winning, I'd be fine with it. But I mean, is anybody not rooting for Amber and CT at this point? That's what I want to know.
I'm rooting for Amber and CT because I like the way he came to Amber and said, listen, you just run fast. Don't beat yourself up over puzzles. I'll figure that out and I'll eat what needs to be eaten if it comes down. I think they are the perfect team. I think Corey and Cam are the perfect team. I love the way Leroy, and this is another thing I'm doing. I love the way Leroy and Nanny are.
I love that Leroy was so supportive and like rooting on Nani when they were running and stuff. Like I'm here for that.
They go back so far, Beth. Like you have to imagine, imagine if RuPaul did like another All-Star season and Bianca and Adore like teamed up for like one last final challenge, like down the home stretch of the All-Star season. Like that's how like bookend-ish of like an experience that is for them. And it's just cool to see them have like such a respect for each other like all these years later. And
I love it so much.
The only thing about Bianca Del Rio is that she has said this again. She's like, if you do it right the first time, you don't have to do All Stars, which is because she won. So.
I love her so much.
Do you think she would do an all winner season?
Do you think she would do the challenge?
So there was tea that apparently they were trying to put together an all-winner season. I don't think it actually ended up happening. I don't think they ended up having enough winners.
Okay.
She was somebody who was a strong maybe, but has often said she would not do it. but they think that she might have been convinced to do it.
Isn't that what like the best of the best always say though? Is like, I'm never coming back. You know, like
no,
I feel
there's
like Tony
definitely
and
some
Sandra
people
say
who
that.
will never come back. Like Trixie Mattel will never come back and do it, like hands down. But there's definitely some people who are like, I can't improve, so why would I go back and do it? It's the same thing with like Cochran from Survivor. He's like, I can't improve, so like, why would I go back to Winners at War or do anything like that? So. I definitely understand that. Plus, for a lot of people, Drag Race is not fun. And it takes away from paid gigs if you're a successful enough winner. So like, why are you going on that show? Even if you're getting paid for that, it's like you're taking away time that you can be with your fans. But they did, as a side note, just wrap up filming international all-stars for Drag Race. So they have queens from Thailand, Holland, UK, Canada, and US. And I'm so excited.
That's cool.
They have some really good people. And actually the queen that's representing Thailand is not actually a contestant from the series. She's the host.
Oh, huh. That's like if Tyra Banks like competed in a season of Top Model.
It's like if RuPaul competed. Like that's what it is. Like Pangina Heels is the RuPaul of Thailand. So that's why
I'm
it's
sorry.
Like
what did you just say? Who?
Pangina Heels. That's
Pangina.
Pangina Heels.
Allison's trying to wrap her head around like what's that?
You know what? I love this all-star stuff because bringing back people from past seasons. Like I'm feeling really nostalgic lately. Like I don't know what it is. I'd like watching the first season of Teen Mom over again. And like I'm about the Real World. The whole Real World Homecoming has kind of brought it out in me. And also, you know, us rewatching Big Brother 10. I'm going to start watching the Real World Las Vegas with Leroy and Nani in it tomorrow. My husband's going on another business trip, so I got to start loading up on all these shows.
I think that season is not available.
There are ways that I can make it.
I'm just prepping you. But you're right. But to answer Beth and you, Allison, your question about like which team are we rooting for? Honestly, I went into this final saying like, as long as it's not Casey and Fessy, I'm cool with any of these three teams winning.
Oh, totally.
Be Casey or Fessy.
Right, exactly. Which is why, like, you know, I feel bad for Casey, but like, you know, it's not the worst outcome.
I just generally meant like, I'm not saying everybody wants CT and Amber to win, but just in general, like I don't see people actively being like, "Fuck them, they're awful." Like, you know what I mean? Like, in the same way that like. Honestly, and it's not even Casey so much as it was Fessy. Like I think people just really wanted to see a Fessy downfall, and I don't think that there's anybody left that people would really care about a downfall. At this point, it's like kind of see who wins. Like Corey has an interesting story, Cam and Leroy have their story, and Nani has her story. Amber would be the rookie, CT's like the veteran who's been there 3 times. Like I think it'd be really fun to see. Who can pull it out of any of those people.
I just think like just like character wise, I think that like all 6 of those people are just like genuine good outstanding people in real life. You know what I mean? Like of course like reality TV people are always going to be a little extra, a little nuts, but like I think Cam is like an incredible person. I think Amber B saying that she wants this money for her mom is great. CT with like everything he went through with DM, Leroy like being so respectful to Nani, like the two of them together, and Corey being like a father. Like all these people are just I don't know, like not like dumb like 20 somethings, you know what I mean? And it's great to see that like that behavior is being rewarded no matter the outcome, instead of this like shitty Big Brother alliance that's been just like a thorn in our side all season long.
But does the shitty 20s behavior really go away after watching last week's Challenge All-Stars? Trashelle
so true.
Decided to get into it with Katie over shit that happened 16 years ago and got eliminated. I mean, it's just people, like if you get a group of people, it's kind of like with the Real World Homecoming, Kevin and Becky getting into it again. I mean, when you get these people together after so many years, do you maybe some people maybe go regress or go
That's
back.
totally the
maybe?
case, Allison. I mean,
Yeah.
like we saw it in Big Brother 22 All Stars as well this year. I feel like it's certainly a pattern with like people taking some time off and then like going back into this like realistically like triggering environment for them, and they like regress back like 20 years to their actions and choices. I gotta say, Beth, we've talked about this a little bit. I would really love to get Christine from Big Brother 16 on our show at some point, because I follow her on TikTok.
I love her. I love Christine Varner so much.
She just like spills so much tea about what the Big Brother experience is like and how like traumatic that was, and how like America just like shamed her.
I would happily reach out to
Cody.
her and we could have a fun interview session.
That would
with her.
be an amazing interview.
Yeah, I would love that.
Chanel points out Corey has an interesting story. You mean the scene of him looking at the 2002 printout photos of his kids? #, doing it for my family. Which I thought was a funny comment. But what I want to clarify is when I said Corey has an interesting story, I meant for this season. So like he's had how many partners and he's gone through that. I don't care so much about like the father part. Like Corey, I think that's endearing, but I don't. Yeah. I think that he genuinely just comes across as a nice guy. He's been the curse of the season, so to say, when it comes to the women and having them as partners and such. So I think it'd be interesting, like if he ultimately wins.
I'm just enjoying other people, it's their time to shine kind of situation. We don't have, and I love Wes Bergman, don't get me wrong, but we don't have Wes. We don't have Cara Maria. We don't have Johnny Bananas. We don't have all these other kind of big personality distractions. And CT, to me, whom I love. Okay. CT, whom I love to the moon and back, I think is becoming one of those big personalities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not in a bad way, but.
While Beth's taking a little break for a second here, hope everything is okay.
Ghost, maybe? I don't know, y'all.
How did you feel about the second episode of the Challenge All Stars?
I thought it was really good. I thought that, just that one chick, what was her name? Kendall?
Yeah.
Walking right over that was not an accident. That bitch did not want to go in the water. Okay. And I don't blame her. But but then again, she done weigh 10 pounds. So she probably wouldn't have gone through anyway.
Yeah.
But, when you answer the wrong question, you go ahead and you fall through. And I thought it was great. Look, I think Anissa has a little bit of an advantage over a lot of these people. And that's why she and possibly Ruthie, too, were able to answer a lot of these questions. Because I think they have been out of the females, the most recent contestants on the challenge. I don't think a trivia is really fair at this point.
I actually, so Beth, just to fill you in, so on the second episode of the Challenge All Stars, they did their like usual trivia, but it was all like hard questions about like the challenge.
I was loving it,
and it was like actually hard. Like me as like an encyclopedia of like useless knowledge for these stupid shows. I was like stumped a few times as well. Ooh. So it was cool to see who knew their stuff. It's
also sorry I pieced out for a second. I had a knock on my door, so I was just answering the door.
I thought we thought you saw a ghost or something.
A ghost, or you had a fart.
No, I just saw you like off camera, like sprinting away, and I'm like, oh my god, did she just get like possessed or something?
I know, but TJ was having so much fun with these people. He was he loves it when they are uncomfortable like that, and I love it when TJ laughs. Yeah, especially during the. What was it? The drone competition this year on the challenge. He was living for it. And as always, standing my girl, Jimmy. I'm on the fence with Jimmy. She is a great confessional queen, but there's something going on that I can't put my finger on. And I think it's the contouring of her nose during her confessionals. I think she needs to let a professional step in. And I'm not an asshole. Look, I'm not judging anybody, but when you listen, I did a show once and I tried to contour my nose and it looked like I had wiped dirt on my face. And that's it. That's what it looks like.
Contouring my nose is like the only thing I could do, which I haven't done today. I haven't done any makeup today, but I love having it start here, just go here,
Yeah.
and like it just defines the nose a little bit better.
Hers
but it-
starts up here. Does it not, Tyler? Start up here.
I have never like put makeup on my face, so I am like I don't know any of this stuff.
I'm talking about Jimmy. I'm talking about her contouring starts at her eyebrow tip.
Yeah, but I like don't even know about like contouring really.
Yeah.
But she does look like a hot mess all the time. I will agree with that.
She looks like the kind of women I bump into when I got to run to Walmart on a Saturday night at midnight. Okay,
I would
and
agree with that.
they're in the contraceptive aisle trying to
Hey.
figure shit out.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, condoms are the one thing you buy retail.
Wait, why?
What?
It's one, no one's gonna get that reference. It's from The Nanny. It's from like season 6 of The Nanny. It's the last season.
My boyfriend would have gotten it. He loves the Nanny.
I need to meet Tim.
You do. Well, hopefully soon.
Hopefully, I will soon.
If you know what I mean.
Wait,
Anything else?
Caitlin Weaver in the chat, do you get the Nanny reference that I just made? Basically,
Yeah, she says the nanny.
I know. So basically, what happened is in this one particular episode in season 6, Maggie, who's the oldest girl, who's like early 20s, thinks that she might be pregnant. And she's Fran says, well, were you using protection? She said, yeah, we use condoms. She goes, well, obviously you didn't buy quality. What have I always told you? Condoms are the one thing that you buy retail. Because like Fran's known for like buying everything at retail.
Okay. Yeah, I would not buy condoms on sale. You know, that's probably it. That sounds a little.
Well, let me ask you something.
Yeah, Caitlin, you're my type of person.
If you buy a box of condoms on the clearance rack in Walmart,
check the date.
but if it still rolls on comfortably and it's gonna hold, isn't it still gonna hold the stuff?
Well, isn't it like
just check the date? Check the expiration date on it.
Doesn't it have something that's also like
Use
that
date.
prevents pregnancy, just in case a little like something like slips out of it? Right?
Some of them do, but not all. There's not like spermicide on all of them. You'd have to buy. Normally, you have to buy spermicide like on the side.
Yeah, and I think that's where the expiration date happens.
I don't use them, so I don't know. I don't have to. I'm married. Not that people who are married don't need them. I'm just saying.
You're gonna hate what I'm about to say, but you just reminded me of Kelly Ripa.
Okay, I've been compared to Kelly Ripa in the past, and that's probably another reason why I hate her ass. Because yeah, I've had people say, you kind of remind me of Kelly Ripa. And I'm like,
that's like holding back.
Y'all, okay, I just want y'all to know in this chat that our little 3-way chat that we have going on every day,
every morning
at like 9:30.
And I don't start it.
Kelly Ripa thinks she's God's gift to earth. Like, I mean,
I don't start it.
The two of them, the parents here, sitting here just going crazy over Kelly Ripa.
Yeah,
about how much they dislike her.
Kelly
I just know it like
drink
gets
out of
a rise
metal cups.
I just know that I get such a rise out of Allison that I can't help myself but to just like dangle that fruit in front of her and say like, here you go. But this week in Kelly Ripa news, she can't drink out of a can. It has to be glass or clear plastic. So that's your Kelly Ripa update on the challenge Double Agents finale coverage.
I would love to see her on the challenge.
That would be good.
Why not? You know what? I was not a big Ryan Seacrest fan until he joined live with Kelly Ripa.
He's so awkward though.
But he handles himself so well with her jabbering nonsensical bullshit out of her mouth.
There's a lot of awkward dead air between the two of them.
I really dislike Ryan Seacrest. I think that he's not nearly as talented as the world has built him up to be. I don't think that he can actually talk that well. I don't think he's a really good presenter. I think that I think that Kelly Ripa is actually not that bad when she has a good like I never had an issue with her with Regis, for example. Like when she has good chemistry, I actually liked her with Michael Strahan.
She was better with Strahan, and she was definitely better with Regis. But I'm going to tell you what the problem is. The problem is she thinks because she's sitting in Regis's chair now that she's got to act like Regis, and she's got to pick on Gelman all the time. That's not your thing. That was Regis's thing. God rest his soul. Stop it.
My whole thing is, I think if you had given her a co-host that was chatty, not in like a performative chatty way, like I feel like Ryan Seacrest pretends like he's chatty when he's presenting.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't think he really is. Whereas I think that Kelly Ripa really is a chatterbox. And I love that if you match that energy, but she doesn't have a co-host right now that does. And so you have these awkward silences or whatever the case might be.
That's true. I feel like he's actually like quite introverted. If I had to,
I think so.
Yeah. I would do a show with her.
I think you and Kelly Ripa together would be hysterical only because Tyler and I would be sitting there like, is this the day?
Listen, Kelly Ripa says crazier things. She was on an episode of Broad City where she hired male hookers and drank moonshine and just got like totally fucked up. And it was amazing. So we could get her on My Weekly Meltdown. We'll see. I'll try to pull some strings on Twitter.
Listen, she's on a show. She's doing great with her life. I'm just not a fan. And Tyler has got to bring her up. Every day. I'm up. I've had my coffee. I'm in a good mood because see, he gets live with Kelly and Ryan before I do. See, I get the Today Show from 7 a.m. until 11, and then I get live with Kelly and Ryan. You get Kelly and Ryan first, so you've got to tell me what she's wearing and what she doesn't like and what the fuck is going on in her life before my day even gets started.
Yeah.
It's
and true. I don't like that my hair kind of looks like hers. And so, yeah, I want to go back darker.
I will laugh. Earlier this week, Allison said, guys, I think I'm going to go to being back to being a brunette. Being blonde can be Beth's thing. We can't have two blondes on the show. And like the real reason is that she just doesn't want to look like Kelly Ripa.
I like to imagine all of Allison's life decisions are circled around
Kelly Ripa.
How this affects Kelly Ripa.
Listen,
Kelly Ripa is definitely going to be on our next Hunger Games brand still.
Yeah, and I'll get stuck with
100%.
100%. Speaking of something that's coming up on the show, you know, I'm going to be a grandma, and my son and his fiance are not going to do a gender reveal. They're just going to tell us what the baby is. Mm-hmm. And so we came up with this idea of doing a gender reveal on the show. So,
but we're revealing it to you, right? You're not going to know.
You guys are going to reveal it to me. I'm not going to know, which is going to be we're going to have to do this the day of because I'm going to have to. I don't know if I can handle it, but you guys have 24 to 48 hours of me being calm and not flipping out, and we're going to do the reveal on the show, so you get my real live reaction, and they're actually really excited about it. They think it's going to be great.
Yeah, we've already nailed down who is going to be making a cameo.
Which is, I bring it. It better not be Kelly Ripa, but that's why I brought it up.
It was discussed, but we won't do that to you. Learning about the sex of your grandbaby.
I'll take it, but you know.
I would freaking love that. I would love for you to be like, let me tell you about how grandma found out you were going to be Kelly, a little boy or girl or whatever. Or they. Oh, God. So good.
Yeah. I think that wraps it up for tonight's show. What do you guys think?
I think that's about enough.
Yeah.
Just like our mod Matt Henning has put in the chat here, if you're liking what you hear, if you love our little rants, if you love us going off the rails and you want to support us, feel free to become a Patreon at patreon.com/myweeklymeltdown. We have 3 different tiers, $5, $10, and $15 that you can support us at on a monthly basis. All the proceeds go into helping to make the show a little bit better.
Yes.
We could use the help.
Good.
Yes. So definitely join us there. Also, we'll be back tomorrow night to recap week 7 of Big Brother Canada 9. It's a mess. I can't wait to vent about the events that have gone on this week. I'll leave it at that.
All I have to say is it brought a tear to my eye, and it made me feel so good when Beth said in the chat today that Beth is an asshole. I felt like, yes, that's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
I said it on the show last week.
I'm thoroughly entertained, but I am frustrated with these players, which I guess is better than, just the Cody Calafiore steamroll. But,
Why is his guy coming up twice in one night?
Well, to be fair, you brought up Polly Calafiore.
Oh.
Now we're talking about Cody.
Are they different?
My brother Cody.
My brother Cody. Okay, sorry.
All right.
Your name's right. What, are you shocked?
Right.
Yeah.
Just bringing it full circle to the beginning. All right. Well, everybody have a great rest of your night. Take care, and we will see you guys back tomorrow at 10. Oh.
Y'all, I'm freaking out. Like, I need to know her address, and we need to get somebody over there. We need to get somebody over there because, she's disappeared. Okay, because I was about to get your address.
I just got kicked out of the studio, so I don't know what happened. One of y'all bitches probably.
I swear it was
I can't even do it. Blame him because his ass was muting me last week.
I didn't have my hand anywhere near a mouse or anything like that. I've been playing with this plastic thing, and all of a sudden I got booted.
I was talking. I swear. I'm not. I
so
can't.
It was the ghost.
No.
It was the ghost.
It was the. I think it was him. He muted me and kicked me out of the show repeatedly last week.
I think you need to sage your house.
I guess so.
Yeah, maybe that.
Who knows? I won't be here for that much longer. So
either way, yeah.
I'm getting out of here.
All right. Oh, that's my mic falling. Okay. Bye, guys.